from Bloomberg, the financial experts that we all trust in this takeover saga. Owen, over to you.
Well, we were playing a wrestling video game and we just happened to be here at the time. Had we known we'd be live, I don't know about you, Flex, I'd be better dressed.
Absolutely. And we wouldn't be on this sofa that me and KG play FIFA on. And we wouldn't be on this backdrop. Nevertheless, there is news on the takeover. Owen, what's the latest?
Wow, funny you mentioned that. There's big Qatari news this, what time is it?
Well.
Evening time.
Well.
People saying sound not working.
Well.
Is the sound, sources, Josh, is the sound working? Yes, it's fine. I've heard that it's fine. Well, I'll continue talking then because it's being reported by a big financial outlet. Why are we talking like this?
I don't know. What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Do you know what? It's because we're like at a kind of, not desk, but both got laptops. It's quite formal. Yeah. But listen, man, I said it this morning, didn't I? Me and KG were laughing. KG apologised this morning.
Yeah.
Now, because it's Wednesday and this has happened, we know what he's going to be on. But there has been some breaking news from Bloomberg. We're going to get straight into it because it is quite serious. Owen's going to get into the full article. They are claiming that the Qataris are confident of victory and that an announcement is a matter of time away. Now, where have we heard this before?
Everywhere.
Everyone went into meltdown when Reuters said this. I know who I believe. I believe the finance people over the everyday journalists, over sports journalists. We still haven't had an announcement. A couple of weeks later, we get this from Bloomberg. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Let's find out the facts of what they have claimed in their piece.
Yes, indeed. So again, coming from Bloomberg, specifically David Hellier, same person we have spoken to.
Big up, Dave.
Flex has spoken to here on the
Flex
channel
sources,
before.
just saying.
And interestingly, before, when you spoke to him all of those months ago, he was of the opinion at that time that Sir Jim Ratcliffe was maybe considered the favourite right then. But he is reporting in Bloomberg, it's actually a multi-person piece that's been written, is saying the Qatari group led by Sheikh Jassim bin Hamid JJ Al Thani is increasingly confident they have won the bidding war for Manchester United. Those within the inner circle of the Qatari bid have now begun communicating their confidence of victory in buying Manchester United and believe it's just a matter of time before an official announcement is made. As the sale unfolds, Manchester United have around £260 million available for player purchases in the transfer window underway, which, by the way, big number.
That's a massive number.
Kind of undercuts maybe the legitimacy of this article. That one person familiar with the matter said. However, financial fair play rules mean that not all of this amount would be spent. But what they are saying, and I guess the headline bit coming out of this article is that those within Sheikh Jassim's camp, those within his inner circle, are suggesting that they're pretty confident they're going to win this race.
Do you want my honest opinion, or
Go
do you
on.
want? What do you want?
I want Man United to be sold.
What do you want from me?
What I want from you is, well, actually, because I saw your initial reaction, because I read you the news before we went live, and it was almost Carl Pilkington-esque, wasn't it?
Proper.
Bullshit.
I'm just going to keep it 100% with you guys. You don't know where I stand on the hands of the club I want to fall into. That's unequivocal. You know I want it to be Sheikh Jassim. You know I want it to be Qatar. But again, it really opened my eyes speaking to Mike Keegan last week. I'm not just saying that because, you know, he done us the pleasure of coming on the channel and chose us and all that stuff. I'm not, friend. It's not that. Because people might be like, oh, yeah, just because you've mates with Mike Keegan. Oh, friends, football friends. You know, it's the same with Ben Jacobs and these domestic journalists. Journalist friends. It ain't that.
Football finance friends.
Right, exactly. It's not that. It's just my eyes opened when I took a step back a couple of weeks ago when we spoke to Mike Keegan, because everyone was on to him saying that, you know, they don't know anything and we're only going to believe the financial experts. And when Reuters came on the scene a couple of weeks ago, it sent us into meltdown. It just happened to be the day that I spoke to Mike Keegan, and he actually got the brunt of that. If he would have come on the day before, it would have been different. So what I learned from that is people trusting their source, and what I also learned is that it's all bullshit. Do you know what I mean? We went into frenzy. Excuse me. We went into frenzy because of the Reuters piece. They doubled down on it. You know, the next morning, they'd been retweeting it 3-4 times, pinned tweet. The guy who wrote it, he went on to Stretford Paddock, I believe.
Yes, he did.
Did a piece with them. So a lot of doubling down.
And it was interesting actually what he said in that interview, because I did see some clips from it actually, and big up those guys for securing that interview. And he had kind of, the wording he used in the interview, in my opinion, was very different to the wording he had used in the article. That's our interpretation.
Yeah.
That's what
it changes.
That's kind of what we're sort of hearing. That's what we kind of feel. The people that we've spoke to, that's their feeling. It wasn't really anything concrete. And it must be said, that's kind of what this article was also saying as well, saying, well, from the people that we have spoken to, for instance, I'm sure if you spoke to David Hellier, he would probably say, well, that's what the people close to us are talking.
100%.
You know, and that's their interpretation of it as well. Exactly.
If we spoke to him right now, he'd back his sources. So I don't think it's round the corner, only because it's like that whole scarred thing again, isn't it? Like I did this 2 weeks ago when one of the big financial big dogs said it's imminent, and I'm still here 2 and a bit weeks later, no closer to knowing. So why would I see another financial expert say it and just believe it? I'm not discrediting. It sounds like I'm discrediting it because I've basically said it's bullshit. But let me clarify that. I'm not saying that there's no truth to what they're saying. I just don't think it's yet. We've been here 2 weeks ago, and if we've learned anything from 2 weeks ago, it's to not get carried away when one of these financial outlets claim something like this. Sit back, wait, take it all in, see what follows. Again, what we'll probably get now in the next hour or two, or the rest of the evening, or into the morning, I don't know when their close of players with the domestic journalists, is people coming to spoil the party. You know, according to our sources, still no movement. Samuel Luckner said just this morning, didn't he?
Mike Keegan said it, I think 2 days ago, saying that as of last night or whatever, there's still no preferred bidder. And that's not what this is saying.
No.
Is that there's a preferred bidder. It's just saying that they're confident. And the argument could be made, well, they've always been fairly confident. It was only that sort of maybe month period of time where it was kind of coming out suggesting that maybe Ineos were leading the race because their offer was more attractive, i.e. they valued Manchester United at a higher price point than Sheikh Jassim did, because whilst he was trying to purchase less and he was actually offering less on the table, he was still overall, in totality, if you added up what he was going to be buying over time, he valued Manchester United at more. And maybe during that period of time is when the 92 Foundation thought, actually, we might be in a bit of second place here. Maybe we're losing this. And that's why bids 4 and 5 went in. It's because clearly their third and final bid was not good enough.
Yeah.
And they got feedback to suggest that their third and final bid wasn't good enough, so they went in with 4 and 5. And particularly since that 5th bid went in, there has been maybe a little bit of a shifting of the narrative, I would say a little bit, where they're maybe suggesting that actually, you know what, that 5th bid, maybe that's a bit closer to what they're looking for. And then also, as well as that, there's had been those discussions of, have we gone black?
Have we gone black?
The
screen went dark.
The screen went dark, exactly. Well,
this is dark view, blacked out. Yeah, exactly. It's happened. Exactly. An eclipse is happening, and that means that there's going to be an announcement because it's gone black.
Maybe actually, when the lights do come back on, the Undertaker's going to be standing behind us.
No, Sheikh Jassim's going to be standing there.
Sheikh Jassim or Sting or someone like that. I mean, we were just playing the wrestling games, and by the way, some of the disgraceful behaviour that was going on during that wrestling game was outrageous.
Radio view.
Radio view, exactly.
They say we've got voices for radio? Faces for radio? There you go.
Oh, speak for yourself. We're back.
Faces for radio.
We're back now anyway.
We're back!
We're back anyway.
We're back!
Yes.
Yeah.
Forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I was saying the narrative has shifted. The narrative has shifted and changed a little bit with this 5th bid going in, because clearly it was closer to what they're looking for, and also that was the other thing I was going to say is there had been those rumblings, hadn't there, that minority shareholders within Manchester United maybe weren't too pleased with the idea of Ineos taking over because they would just be purchasing the Glazers shares, and from their point of view they were looking into Cayman Island laws suggesting that, hey, do we have to be involved in the takeover and all that kind of stuff. And maybe this is me speculating here, the Glazers took that into account, and maybe they are leaning towards Sheikh Jassim's bid because they're saying, actually, look, we've got 5 bids, it's got higher eventually. There's a bit of blowback to accepting Ineos, and maybe they genuinely know, actually, you know what, the 92 Foundation, maybe they're not actually going to put another bid in, and if they're not going to put another bid in, then maybe this is it. But it must be said, in the same article that I have it, I can tout. Flex is typing away.
There is a lot going on here.
I think we've gone black again, by the way, as well.
Well, it's an absolute disgrace and a cheat. you know?
What is this, Josh? This is a disgrace. To the
Why
chief.
all the blackness?
Yeah.
Why all the darkness?
It's a good question.
Come out of the darkness and into the light. That's what we want.
Yeah, it is a good question.
I mean, there is a lot of ongoing dialogue here, and this is very interesting stuff.
It is very interesting stuff. It's
you know.
always a concern as well when the tech person comes in shrugging.
Yeah, because Josh has entered the studio going, basically, I don't know why this is happening.
Yeah.
Everything's plugged in.
Yeah.
However, you know, one would suggest it's not.
No, exactly.
But like you said, I think we're back. Or am I just behind?
I think you're behind.
I'm just way behind, actually, to be honest with you.
It's behind.
But really, you lot can differentiate who's who by the voices, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
exactly.
you? So, yeah, Josh is onto that. We can just carry on. Actually, this is testament to our podcast settings, that's what I'm saying. Cost of living crisis. Power to the people. This is unacceptable. There you go. Camera is on the wonk. Yeah, and Goldbridge has not hacked the channel. He has not. This is the new UV podcast. Take a listen.
What, we have to sit in the dark?
We're in the light. You're just seeing it in the
Yeah,
dark.
we have to-
You know what I
we
mean?
have to sit in the
You're
dark.
just seeing it in the dark.
It's a disgrace. It's
Yes,
a
we are back.
Do you know what it is actually also as well? And I know this is very easy for me to say after it's been fixed. I was wondering why the light wasn't on.
That's true. Well, it was on at the start.
It wasn't. The light
Oh,
was
the whole
never-
time.
The light was never
Right,
on.
okay.
I'll tell you what it is, the actual plug's broken.
So we got a broken plug, but
Yeah.
you will never know.
was
Well, you do
wondering why
now.
that was
But
never
yeah,
on.
there you go.
Well, I was going to say anyway, they do stress here, again, not to get too carried away with ourselves, quote, but with the official sale process heading into its 8th month, the Glazers could make a last-minute decision to keep hold of the English Premier League club, accepting funds from an outside investor to renovate the club's dilapidated stadium and training facilities. One of the people said they asked not to be identified for discussing confidential information.
Well, there you go.
They are not to be identified for breaking NDAs. To me, though, that line there sounds very Glazerish, doesn't it?
Glazerish.
Well, it does, because that's basically saying, well, you know, we could still stay, you know, a bit more leverage. You know, what I mean? Let's not show their hands completely.
Yeah, and I think even with these types of articles, when you read it from top to bottom, it's never a source of all new information. There's like one paragraph in there that's the dime plus the headline. But when you actually read it from top to bottom, it will say a lot of the stuff that we already know. It will be surrounded by information that we already know to be true. So that, again, they have reference points of truth. And then they'll drop the extra bit or the exclusive that they're claiming is happening. In this case, they're claiming that the Qataris are happy with where they're at. I'm just skeptical about it. I really am. I think, you know, to be honest, whether it's about sources or emotion, I'll be honest, it's a bit of both. Like more so emotion, if I'm being honest, an experience of like, this is in its 8th month.
Well,
And
there's
we're
a
still no
possibility.
closer. I mean, this is claiming we're closer.
Yeah.
But we've been down this road. Like, even when you go down that chronological timeline of like, what was the first mad thing that happened? The thing with the paper, or did something else happen before that where we thought, oh my God, it's
Well,
going
we've
to be
got it from all angles, haven't we? We've got Qatari paper that actually was or wasn't owned by Sheikh Jassim's dad. We've had Rio standing on a train platform saying that, you know, it's imminent.
It's been told.
Yeah, exactly.
Reuters go strong.
We have Reuters going in one direction, then we then have Ben Jacobs, Mike Keegan and others going in the other direction. And all of that led to nothing.
And then now you get today.
And now you're getting Bloomberg,
So-
who are saying, not necessarily that Qatar winning, just pretty confident, and they think an announcement will come in a matter of time. Now, it must also be said that it has been written by the likes of Ben Jacobs and Mike Keegan, particularly Ben Jacobs has gone quite strong on the exclusivity side of things, suggesting that there's never going to be any exclusivity because essentially both Ineos and the 9-2 Foundation are both kind of already at that stage, and essentially what is going to happen is one day the Glazers are just going to point to either one and go, winner.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where the narrative from what they're saying here is that actually they believe an announcement's going to be coming in a matter of days, or a matter of time rather.
But they're claiming victory, essentially. I know they're claiming confidence, but they're claiming that victory's around the corner.
Exactly, yeah. And they believe that eventually, within, I don't know, a few days, a week, or they're going to get a phone call or some kind of confirmation as to, you've won. like those postcode lotteries, they're going to knock on the door.
You've
won Manchester United.
When was we talking about that? I think I messaged you on WhatsApp and I was like, I think we're just going to get we'll just wake up one day and they'll just go, the bid is this. Or
I don't know because it being on the New York Stock Exchange means that kind of can't happen. You know what I mean?
Everyone will get a consensus first.
Well, and again, and this is not the best comparison I know because this is very atypical. For instance, when the WWE Takeover happened earlier this year, which is a New York Stock Exchange company as well, that did, in fairness, that everyone got wind of that the day before. It was a Sunday, and then because obviously New York Stock Exchange stuff, blah, 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 it got announced on the Monday. So it might be like that. It might be like hypothetically, let's say it was going to be announced tomorrow, hypothetically, like something would come out really late tonight and be like tomorrow morning.
So you know that it's been flooded with that and it's going to be that.
Maybe that would happen. But I'm not looking at any timeline when it comes to this anymore.
No, because you don't know what to expect. That's what I'm saying. You've been let down too many times. So I get it. Look, I saw people in the stream earlier on sort of saying, again, I know who I take my chances believing. I believe the financial journalist over the football transfer journalist. And I'm not, you know what, that is your prerogative to do. I'm not here to tell you that these guys are definitely going to be wrong. Someone's going to be right, aren't they? Because someone's going to, the Glazers, there's only two outcomes. They're either going to go or they're going to stay. Like, stay in some capacity or go altogether.
Yeah.
So there's only two options, realistically. That third one of they stay as majority but get some investment, I think that's
for me, that is purely a negotiating tactic.
100%.
But I think it's always been that. You know?
Exactly.
It's always that, we've got that in our back pocket, so we can suggest to people that, if you don't give us what we want, all that kind of stuff. But
then you can go for it.
Yeah.
So what we're saying essentially is a batch of these people claiming different things. When we look back on this mess, which we won't want to, when we finally find out, we want to just look forward. But if you did, you could go back through that 8-9 months and find things from whoever and say they were right all along, or they were wrong all along. You can do that in a timeline, but essentially, the people that have been speaking against like what we want to hear, even though I'm not saying they're against Qatar, but just not breaking the news that we want. Qatar are the preferred bidders. Qatar have won. Qatar are confident. Qatar are edging the race. The guys that have broke that news, they could still be right. Just because it hasn't happened yet, and they're saying there's no preferred bidder. If Qatar win, it doesn't mean that they were wrong. Yeah,
well, and also, like I said, I think multiple points. I put it this way: I wouldn't be shocked, if an article came out later on this evening saying Ineos are still confident.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because both of them have always been confident, and again, they are both really far into this process right now and doing things that a preferred bidder would be doing. So why wouldn't they be confident? Because from their perspective, they would say, well, we're really, Ineos have done takeovers in the past, so they know how the process works. And they might be thinking, well, usually you don't do this if you're not going to win. And the 9-2 Foundation will still be thinking the same thing. Now, again, you can't ignore the significance of Bloomberg, big financial publication.
Yeah, let's talk about that though, because remember when even Mike Keegan said with the Reuters one, he goes,
it's significant.
It's not nothing.
No, exactly. It's
like these are big credible outlets.
To be honest, I do think it's different than the Reuters thing because...
What's the difference for you?
Well, the difference is that when you read the Reuters article, which I did, it was actually really short. It was really short, and they just there was a video and the article, and over the course of about 24, 48 hours, they just tweeted that article out again. And it was like, okay, but you're still just sharing the same article, you're not expanding on it. And again, when he did the interview with Stretford Paddock, I kind of went, oh, you're basically saying that that's your interpretation or your opinion on it. When you do read this, it's not really Bloomberg's opinion on it, it's just they're kind of saying, well, we've heard people allegedly close to the Qatari bid.
Within the inner circle of the Qatari bid have now begun communicating their confidence of victory and believe it's just a matter of time before an official announcement is made according to the people. Again, not us.
Yeah, those
it's
people.
Not, if I spoke to David Hellier now, it wouldn't be, well, my feeling is that it isn't that piece, is it? This is, they've been told by people within the inner circle. But obviously when you approach for official announcement, i.e. not sources, and you just go to the spokespeople for the Qatari group and Man United, they declined to comment. When you go to the PR firms / the actual proper channel of the communication, that's where it gets NDA-ish, not allowed to say this, because they've asked Man United and the people and the spokespeople of Qatar, the spokespeople, not sources, not someone who can fill you in a bit and say, listen, Owen, tell you what, mate.
Yeah.
We're, if I'm on the inner circle, I'm saying, listen, off the record, but not. Listen, mate, they're confident, and they think an announcement's coming soon. Whereas if you go to this guy here, he's the official spokesperson where the speech has to be drafted up. That's what we're putting out as a unit. That we're not getting. We're not getting that from Sheikh Jassim. We're not getting that from Jim Ratcliffe. And I think that's part of the process.
And maybe it is, maybe there is something in what people have been saying before where they go, wait till July 1st. It's the end of the financial year.
Yeah, seems to be a lot in that.
They just announced their second quarter results this week. And maybe there is something in, the transfer side of things when they're going, actually, because if you were the Glazers, and I know it's not the Glazers' money, so they don't care to spend, it's because they're not spending their money anyway, but from their point of view, there was something, I think Samuel Lutkos wrote it today, suggesting that if we're buying players, we're buying them on our credit, basically, And they were saying that actually the Glazers might be reluctant to do that because it devalues United because, as a suggestion, it's more debts, it's more loans that are outstanding, basically, more things that need to be paid off. And if you were the Glazers and you were thinking, we're like this close, and in their mind, they'll probably know actually when they think they're going to announce this or they're going to make their mind up maybe they would think, we're like 2 weeks away. We ain't doing any transfers.
No,
if it's 2 weeks away, we're not doing anything else.
Couldn't give a shit.
And maybe that's why too. That's me reaching. I mean, it does say in the article it's unclear when a decision will be formally announced. The religious festival of Eid al-Adha begins this week, and Manchester United is preparing for a high-profile tour of the US in July. Basically saying there's loads of shit going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, again, as Mike Keegan summed it up very succinctly when he spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, where he says, like, it's not nothing, but it's definitely something. Is it they're winning? No. Is it they're going to win? No. Do they think they're going to win? Yeah.
Which they thought that the whole time.
The whole time.
Just quickly, like John James says, we do want to join all of you guys in wishing you a very happy Eid Mubarak to everybody who is celebrating today with their loved ones, their families, and having a great celebration and a great period for Eid. So big up to everyone who is celebrating. We big you all up on that. Super chats and members chats. Alex Park is the latest member of the UV Members Club. Big up to you, Alex. Nice one for joining. Daniel Luciano, long-time follower of the channel, says, Fleck, really good to have you back. Hope you got rest. I did. It was very refreshing.
I did.
Big up to Owen and KG holding down the fort as well.
I was going to say, not for the want of me peppering you every day with messages about Man United news.
No,
but I do that anyway.
Yeah, and that is, with what we do, you never truly... anyone who does this content
be on the
creation,
plane, and there would be like no signal or anything like that, and the moment you land, you go ping, 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 ping.
Like, what have I missed? Right, okay, there you go.
But then you would message me back going, I can't believe it. What's been going on here?
It's instant. Some may say it's actually quite bad that
you don't have a disconnect.
You can't just and to be honest, that's what you do. You dedicate your life to this, don't you? I was away chilling, and it was great not to actually do a video for 7 days. But in terms of keeping in the know, I might miss a couple of things with the time difference and that. But essentially, I was up to date.
And sometimes you start itching, didn't you?
100%. I couldn't wait to get back. To be honest, I couldn't. So I did get a good rest. Thank you, Daniel Luciano. DJG says, Flex, mate, how many variations of those caps you got? Loads. Big up Fresh Ego Kid. Love to Marvin, God rest his soul. Big friend of mine. Fresh Ego to forever, man. That's me. So I don't know how many hats have I don't know. I couldn't even quantify. I've got loads.
That's a lot.
Loads, yeah. Ahmed Doshan says, next week, Owen, I'm willing to put my newly found Sheikh status on the line, says Ahmed.
Oh, don't do that, Sheikh Ahmed.
Sheikh Ahmed saying,
you're a minority investor at this point, mate.
He actually is as well. He actually is.
We're making a statue. That's why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. So Ahmed saying, listen, he's sure it's going to happen.
Like in Ghost.
So Marcus, thank you for the contribution, says, Fleck, you need to pay the electric. The electric's been paid, as you can see, it's on.
It's just a broken
It's just a broken wire plug.
And that's what happens when we go live, spur of the hat. We weren't even meant to.
No.
Legitimately,
No.
we were in here playing a wrestling game.
Yeah.
That, that was going to be our afternoon/evening.
Yeah.
Hard at work.
Bonding time.
Yeah, exactly.
Bonding time.
And to be honest, Fletch, you were good actually.
I wasn't that bad, was I? Considering,
when you picked up, I
Yeah.
I was arrogant when I started off. I said to Josh, I said, do you want to have like a game first? I went, but Josh, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. And he beat me straight away.
Yeah.
But he can only beat me in one match type,
Yeah.
which is that explosion match. I won a ladder match. I won the triple threat match. And then
doing the battle royal? Oh, no,
I
you
won
didn't put
I won the world title. And then Josh, whilst we were setting up this, made sure he won it when we weren't even playing to get the world title back. He's a disgrace and a cheat.
Absolute disgrace.
Coming to UB Raw near you.
Yeah, look out for that. It's going to be good fun. Shub says, hashtag Glazers out. Hashtag wants Mason Greenwood to come back. Lars says, I think Mark Kleinman from Sky is the best out there in my opinion. He was the one who broke the story about United being for sale, so I will just wait for him.
Yeah, he's a Sky News journalist. Again, more on the financial side, the City side of things. So Manchester City, the City,
Yep,
what they call
the
financial
City.
side of things. So yeah, maybe he will talk about it too.
DJG says, if the Qataris are restricted by FFP due to the Glazers credit limit, how big would Qatar credit limit be if required 1 year under Qatar?
Well, they've said, haven't they, that if any takeover, you're not going to see this giant bump in us buying players immediately. I think they said, was it like 50 million? They might be able to add on, something like that. The one thing you would say, and again, I saw Samuel Luckhurst write about this today, suggesting that whilst people within the club are really stressing FFP, people outside of the club are stressing Glazers.
Yes.
Which is quite interesting, that sort of dichotomy of people saying, actually, FFP, I think they point to other clubs and go, mate, it's FFP, that is bullshit.
Yeah, because you
And
can get around, everyone
get
gets around it.
It's because you don't want to, basically.
And it made sense. I mean, it was Samuel Luckhurst with that piece this morning, wasn't it? He was saying that, like you said, pointing more towards the Glazers, saying that they're whilst they're trying to sell this club, they're not going to keep using up the credit limit.
No.
It's already at its lowest point, and they're not going to pile more onto it during this stage. So, which obviously we don't agree with what the Glazers are doing, but from their perspective, of their business sense, of looking after themselves, of course they're going to do that. That's all they've done is ducked and dived, spending money spending their own money at this football club to the point where it's got to where they have to spend their own money. Hence why we've had 8-9 months worth of negotiations to sell the football club, because the club is at the point where somebody needs to reach into their pocket and spend. Yeah. And they're going, not us. That's all this is. The whole time.
And by the way, they've never done it anyway.
And they've never done it, exactly. So they're like, what? We've had this for 70. We've got to do it.
We ain't doing shit, mate.
Strategic alternatives / full sale / partial sale right now.
Yeah.
We're not doing it. Joel and Avram, we're not doing it. So that's where they are on it. And you know what? I done 5 earlier on today with Danny and Anton, and just talking about transfers in general. And you see what Arsenal have been up to today. Chelsea are on to Caicedo. I know a good friend of mine, Mark McAdam over there at Sky Sports, was saying that Man United are obviously going to make some contact or have made contact or started discussions.
Not the contacts.
Yeah,
not the talks.
and do you know what? Mark does know quite a lot of people at Brighton actually, so it's interesting. I'm going to see what he says about that actually. But I tweeted, I said, we love a good old chat, don't we? Yeah. We love a good old chin wag. Let's catch up over tea.
But
over
again,
coffee.
maybe that's because they know, as of right now, actually, we can't buy people. But maybe, I don't even know if this would be communicated to people in the club where they go, just wait a couple of weeks. You'll be able to buy people soon. Like get it to that point, get it to the finish line, and then we'll be able to sort of nudge it over very soon.
Statman Cam in the chat. Cam says we need Caicedo. I mean, I ain't saying no. Cam's in awe of Caicedo. When we sat next to each other in semi-final against Brighton, he was brilliant from even the warm-up, and it wasn't just Cam just going extra. He really was good.
Did you see David De Gea's response to Cam today?
I did.
He went,
I mean, just quickly before we wrap up. Before we kind of move on, to wrap up this, just sum up the state of play for anybody joining us now. Over 1,600 people watching, nearly 1,700 people. 294 likes. 295 likes.
I've heard a rumour if he doesn't get to 500, the lights are going to go off again.
Yeah, and it will be a disgrace to the cheating. It'll go back to UV radio.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But yes, what is the state of play before we wrap up?
So once again, the state of play regarding what's been happening this afternoon / evening / morning, wherever you are, is that according to Bloomberg, the Qatari group led by Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani is increasingly confident it's won the bidding war for Manchester United. Those within the inner circle of the Qatari group have now begun communicating their confidence of victory in buying United and believe it's just a matter of time before an official announcement is made. And then it talks about, again, the amount of money that would be available for Manchester United currently, but to FFP restrictions. What? Oh, my God. I tell you what, Flex, do a spinneroonie right now. No, I thought you were going to... Are you going to do one?
Yeah, why
not? Go on then. Oh,
no, because he walks in first, like...
Yeah, go on. I tell you what, you can't beat in person, can you? Do you want me to try it?
I don't want you to get injured, so if you've got it in you...
He gets down on one knee like this, and then goes...
Then he builds it up. He builds it up.
Then
He builds it up. Spin, Owen. Spin.
I've got carpet burn on my back.
Is that sunburn or carpet burn? Which one is it?
Not sunburn, is it?
Always got some type of burn
Yeah.
from doing it.
Yeah.
And he's knackered. But there you go, Ahmed. Ahmed has gifted, if you did. All you can see. Oh, mate.
20.
20, not 5.
Do it again.
Not 10. No, I can't. Big up Ahmed. He has gifted 20 memberships. We can't even go through every single person that was just gifted one. But big up to the new members and big up Sheikh Ahmed.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, don't risk your shakeness
No, don't.
On it being announced by a certain point, because
Don't. We've got serious issues. That's just what we do. We do. We just do. Just why have we done that? But it's fun, isn't it?
Funny,
We're in
yeah.
this UV studio. Why
Exactly.
not do it? Why not
But
do
yeah,
it?
just on the De Gea thing
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
De Gea
What do you
was
think
one-
that meant? What do you think it meant? Go on, be honest.
I'm tired of it.
Tired of what?
Who knows?
Being treated. What do you think?
I don't know.
Being treated this way, or tired of you lot talking crap because I'm going to sign in?
Tired of the noise.
Of everything.
Tired of everything. Tired
I'm
of the
fed
noise.
up.
Tired of noise. So if you're not aware, he did a tweet that was just a yawn emoji. And you know, contract negotiations getting serious when you turn into emojis.
Yes.
And to your point, he could be tired at a lot of things. He could be tired at, again, all the discussion. He could be tired at an offer being pulled and being put back in. He could just be tired of all this shit, right? And I don't know what I think it is. What do you think?
Yawn.
If you go to social media,
Yeah.
you're in the media, aren't you? So maybe
Yeah.
it's like as a response to the media,
I think it's a response to the whole lot.
everything.
I think he's never going to go public and say the club are mugging me off, I'm tired of them. But a little bit of that will be in there.
Maybe.
And I think the majority of it is obviously, you're putting it on Twitter. What's
Yeah.
been happening on Twitter, De Gea has been trending every day.
It's deliberate.
Onana's been trending every day. He could have put it on his Instagram. He could have sent a pigeon. I don't know. But he's put it on Twitter, you know, and it's just really simple. And it's enough, it's just enough to make people go, what's going on? And it's just not enough to really know which one he means. But come on, if we read between the lines,
Everyone knows what he's talking about, don't they?
Exactly.
Everyone knows what he's
It's his
talking
contract
about,
situation.
but they don't know specifically who he's talking about, maybe.
Are you bored of the empty promises from the
Exactly.
club / Ten Hag that you were going to get given this contract? You signed it,
Yeah.
came back, or haven't come back yet, and now they've said, I ain't signed it off, mate. Here's another one. Yawn, bloody hell, you're taking the piss. Or you lot all talking about my name, saying I deserve this, 12 years.
What do you think of it, though? Like, if that was you, what do you achieve by doing that?
By him doing it. Yeah, it shows breaking point. It shows a...
But, like, what do you achieve? You just get people talking about you more.
100%.
Like,
100%. He should just keep quiet. But that shows...
Or release a statement going,
Yeah.
this is bullshit. I don't
Exactly.
like it. I'm not happy with it.
But that is what shows that it's getting to him. When we had it last year, I'm not trying to say that the club's gone back to that horrible, volatile place, because it absolutely hasn't. I'm just talking about the principle of retaliation. We had players come out and defend themselves. We had players. Remember when Marcus Rashford said, "I have not XYZ.
Yeah.
Fred came out with one, and I remember when Fred done it. Fred never says anything. Because it got so bad last year that, again, there was bad leaks and stuff, and then there was stuff that just completely weren't true. And some players were taken and accept. I think Maguire even come out
did
with
it this year. Remember
Rashford with the contract. Yeah. So Rashford seems he's PR trained. He's got a lot of big people around him, so that we expect it from Rashford. But someone like De Gea never says anything, even on the pitch. Never says anything. So as Karen says, he's a coward. Doesn't speak.
Cowardice.
Cowardice. But I think it's just him just showing that it's got to him. But I agree with you. I don't think that's done him any favours. All that's going to do is rub people up the wrong way who are, in my opinion, harshly treating him. It's going to give them fuel to say, look at him, wimp, he can't hack the thing, shouldn't even be getting a contract anyway. It just keeps you trending. It keeps it. Yeah. You literally just got some wood and just chucked it into the fire.
You get those people that would be like, yo, you're tired, we're tired of you. You know, that kind of thing. And because it is really still vague. Again, it's not vague in the sense of we all know what he's referring to, but it's vague in the sense of we don't know.
You can't pin it down.
No, exactly. What are you tired about? You tired of people talking about you? You tired with the club because you're going, this is ridiculous.
It's probably all of it.
Probably, maybe it is all of the above. But I was surprised when I saw it because that's kind of out of character.
It's that.
And maybe, and I'm sure those people around him, again, like his PR people, would be like, why'd you?
Yeah, come on, David. But maybe that's what it is. That's the point he's got to. But he's left us in this position where we're going, but maybe it's that. But maybe it's this. But maybe it's that.
Yeah.
He's got us talking about it, and maybe he wants that to happen.
Yeah.
Carry on talking. You know, make there be more confusion. I don't know, but I still just stand by the fact that I think that
he's got 2 days.
He's got to go. Yeah.
2 days.
You know.
And then his contract expires.
If you don't take that hint, then you know, and it shouldn't even be a hint like that, because really out of stupidity, or no, to show them a lesson, you could just accept it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he wants to sit there and not play or whatever, but what if he does? What stupid tactic?
Calls their bluff?
That's what I mean. All right, you know what? Yeah,
fine,
well,
I'll do it.
I'm just going to rinse you. You're not getting me off. All right, fine. I'll take the 130, whatever it was you give me.
Just like sliding it off the table again.
Do you know what I mean? Like what? And then what? Yeah, you take that away and keep doing it so that he can basically reject it, so that the narrative can be we tried to keep him.
I don't get that.
It's dumb.
That
doesn't
aspect
make any
of it, people
sense.
going, well, they're trying to lowball him to force him out. If you want to force him out, don't give him a contract. That's the easiest way to force someone out.
Exactly.
Pull it and so sorry.
There's no option to stay. You can't play for us anymore.
And United are a group of people historically bad at playing any kind of chess, let alone 4D.
Yeah.
You know, they can't do that. So, and again, also, I mean, maybe he's yawning too, because not only are they saying, well, his contract's going to be up by Friday, they're saying Andre Onana's going to be signed by Friday.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying, reports in Italy. So maybe he's like, I'm yawning at that. That's not happening. I think you and I both know that's not happening. So, I don't know. Maybe, like us, he's just tired of the whole takeover stuff. Because I am.
Yeah,
8
exactly.
months.
It's very draining. Lil Yo-Yo says, I'm glad you got the keys back to UVHQ. Blink 3 times if you have been working hard on the deal, Flex. Also, I'm glad you're out the cupboard, Owen, as well.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I've always been. I think this might be the first time I've been on a live in here in a while. Actually,
it is. Same.
I did a cameo during the FA Cup final.
Yes,
where I ran in and lifted. I think it was Stephen Haley over my head nearly.
Yeah. It's funny what goals do to you.
Yeah, exactly. And then we lost.
Yeah, you did it all for no reason. Son of Flex says, so De Gea on Piers Morgan next. And Diva says, Flex, are you on TalkSport tonight? Yes, I am at 8 p.m. In fact, I have to leave here and get there.
And I'm sure they'll be asking you about these.
They will.
These topics.
There is a lot to listen to. So you had a little bit of taste earlier in this show about what it's going to be like to just listen to me and not see.
You're going to do any Spinneroonies on TalkSport?
I won't. No. Should I say mad stuff on there, guys? Like, you know how TalkSport's like a bit mad. Like they say, like click off it. Should I say mad stuff? Should I like try and outdo like Jamie O'Hara and that? Should I just say some mad stuff?
Thing is though, like, so he says it about United, so he's a Spurs guy. You can't say anything mad about Spurs.
No.
They're laughable as it is.
No, but shall be like, Arsenal getting Rice, he's not even good.
The mad thing you could say about Spurs is they might win something. Do you know how crazy that is? And then people are like, Flex, you're mad.
Yeah,
if you go, I tell you what.
This Ange, I think he's going to be one.
I'm going to take a bit of a right-hand turn here. Spurs are crap. Oh, you're crazy. You're just saying things for clicks.
Splashnet says, Fleck, talk like Carve on TalkSport.
from what I'm hearing,
No, I can't take the piss like that. Big up Carver, he won't talk to me ever again. And I'll be doing. Do you know what as well? Because again, you have to. I'm doing Sky again over this summer, confirmed as well.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. The official announcement hasn't even happened yet, but you drew me into it.
so maybe you do. I mean, Rich says do the Simon Jordan impression. You could drop a Simon Jordan in word.
Absolute buffoons.
I think it's vociferous.
Absolute farce. Absolute Berks.
I could do a bit earlier. The dichotomous thinking going on right here.
Manchester United is a mammoth football club. Yeah. You look at Newcastle United, who think they are the biggest United in football, when quite frankly, the facts and the numbers don't back up what these fans are claiming.
They're absolute Goliath in totality. They're a mammoth of a, yes, they're a fossil. Yes, a mammoth fossil.
Well, in fact, they actually are a fossil because Newcastle have been somewhat of a sleeping giant, a one-club city for a one-club
But if you
city.
think Manchester City is bigger than Manchester United, you're absolute Burke. You don't understand.
Got to get the high collars, the vampire collars.
Yes.
Absolute Burke.
That's it, Burke.
I won't be going into TalkSport and mimicking any of their things. I don't want to get kicked off. I want to do a good job. But guys, thank you for watching. Smash the like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is your latest update. We will be all over this. We'll see what comes from this. Hopefully, we can maybe speak to somebody from Bloomberg. Hopefully, you never know. Maybe we might. Maybe we won't. You never know. These are things that you want to try and do. Hopefully, you can. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. Who knows? And we'll see you again very, very soon with another video. Peace. We are gone.